Are you thinking about insurance? At Aquin Financial Services, we do auto, life, home, health, and business. Again, we do auto, life, home, health, and business. At Aquin Financial Services, we protect your most valuable assets. Everyone, I thank you guys for turning in, and it's been a great day. I'm glad for those of you that's been waiting, and sorry it takes us a little bit of time to get to you, but I'm sorry, and we thank you for being so patient. And we are now about to get started with the lives for today. And of course, I'd like to say thank to all of you guys who, before I say thanks to you guys, I'd like to say thank you guys for my birthday, since today is my birthday, for all the texts that I've been getting from you guys. Especially my friends that knows, and of course my kids that's already make my food for me this morning, and wifey. I want to say thank you to all of you guys for making this beautiful day a great day. Of course, I have to thank God too for giving me the opportunity to be here. That's among the great ones. Since a lot of other people didn't get the chance to see it, but God has blessed me enough to see this beautiful day. So thank you all, thank you God, thank you everybody for wishing me a great birthday. All right, so today it's gonna be a little bit shaky live, but I'm gonna try to make sure that we're gonna touch a couple of pointers. Before I get into what I'm gonna talk about today, as you guys notice, is the common questions, frequent question asked about life insurance. I'm gonna cover a couple of these questions, but before I get into that, also remember when you turn into Aquin Financial Services, all we do talk about is life insurance, finance, which I always say, which is one of the most boring subjects. But guess what? Whether we like it or not, we still have to deal with our financial well-being on a daily basis or a month-to-month basis, because otherwise they will pick your pocket if you don't pick your own pocket. So with that said, so what I'm going to talk today, before I get into the nitty-gritty of what we're going to talk about, I'd like to say congratulations to the Bucks, the Milwaukee Bucks, for winning the second NBA champion title, which I believe is a great accomplishment after 50 years. Giannis has actually carried this franchise on his back, and with his other fellow teammate, to get to where they at. I thought it was something great to look forward to, especially consider being in the NBA is a dream for every kid, especially when you see your player that you envy and someone that you think about you could be around or you could be. So you go to the ball and you start playing basketball, all that good stuff, and you envy certain players. So last night, I believe it was it was an achievement for a whole lot of young kids that believe, especially a lot of foreigners, kids, and that could see the potential of what it's like when you put in some hard work to it, and you could achieve great things, especially in this country, which is one of the greatest countries in the world. So what I say, Milwaukee Bucks made it last night. For those of you guys who didn't know about it, who didn't see it, so I congratulate you guys. And for those of you guys who's thinking about getting in it, one of the things that catches my attention, I had to write it down just so I can make sure I don't scoot up on this, because I'm not qualified to talk about this. But I guess since you guys are the other viewers, I'm sure you guys will understand. Milwaukee's, right? Out of the guy, let's talk about Giannis. He scored 17 out of 19 free throws. I thought that was very impressive. And the guy, out of 50 years, that franchise has not won a championship. The last championship the Milwaukee Bucks won was back in 1971, when 2001, which technically about 50 years it took them to win. And the other eye-catching thing about this was, what I thought it was, and the guy scored 50 points. Imagine that. It takes them 50 years to win another championship, and the guy that was the leading single that carried the whole thing, he scored 50 points. I think that speaks volume. So the other 4 other players that you guys that score up near 50 points to a 6-game NBA Finals. The next one, I would say, let me go back to the lowest year, which was Pettit. He scored 50 points in 1958. You see how far these people go? And the second one was 1980, which was about, what, I think 41 years now, which is Johnson. He scored 42 points. And you have Jordan in 1998 that scored about 45 points. And of course, in 2000, you have O'Neal that scored about 41 points. And today, guys, this guy smashed the whole thing. I wish he had scored 1 more extra point. If he had did it, it would have been 51. At least he should carry one for himself. He gave these people 1 point in each of the year. He got nothing for himself. That just showed you when you're doing something with your heart, you just give it all. You don't want nothing at the end of it. He did everything, and he poured his heart. He was hurt. He just did it for the people, and the people, I'm sure, will reward him for it tremendously. Enough about this. Let's get back into insurance, okay? All right, I had to just put that in there. All right, guys. So let's get back on our mainly subject. What we usually talk about is insurance, okay? We talk about insurance in this channel, not sport, but there's something else. I thought it was something to talk about, all right? Never mind. All right. So the most common question about insurance. So today, before I get into that other part again, I'm going to give you guys a little breakdown about insurance. When you think about insurance, if it's not forced upon you, you have to educate yourself or hear it from a friend or an agent that will tell you what is the benefit of having insurance. So, for your car insurance, do you voluntarily go get it if you wasn't told by an insurance agent or by someone who's responsible, like the DMV or your federal government tell you that you need to get insurance, otherwise you can't drive the car on the public road? If it wasn't these people, 90 or 80% of people would not have insurance today. Okay? Most people would not be driving with insurance. Now, mind you, there's a little trick about auto insurance. If you have enough cash, you don't have to pay insurance on a monthly basis. If you have the funds, you have $20,000 or $40,000 sitting in your account, you say, you know what, I want to use my funds. Let me put it up front so I can use my own funds to pay for my insurance. They're gonna hold it, but remember, if you get into an accident, or they're gonna use your hard-earned money. So that's something separate besides the fact that which I would not recommend. I mean, if I have $20,000 or $50,000 in the account, I can put it, but they would have to hold it for a certain amount of time, and I can't use it because you don't know who's coming after you to get that money in case something had happened. So that's one. Also, there's health insurance. Health insurance is now used to be paid by your job or by your parents or someone that cares about you enough that will tell you should get health insurance. Or if you get sick, you realize you do need health insurance. Now it's almost becoming mandatory. At one point, it was mandatory by the, I think, Obama administration. If you don't have it, they would penalize you on your tax return. So you had to get it. Otherwise, what would be the purpose if you don't have insurance? You're paying for a penalty for it. That's what I used to say about it. So, in return, health insurance, I think they're trying to make it mandatory, just like auto insurance, which I don't believe it should be mandatory, because your health is your health, but you should know it's mandatory for you. You shouldn't have someone telling you that your health is mandatory, that you should protect your health. You know, you should know the fact of the matter is your health is the most important thing there is. It doesn't matter how much money that you have. If you can't protect what God has given you for free, remember it's free that you get this health. You didn't pay anything for it. You don't want to protect it. When you get to the hospital, you can't breathe. That oxygen is going to cost you a lot of money. So that's beside the fact. I don't want to scare you. Other one is, now, insurance covers a vast variety of sector. It's not going to be one little section that we talk about insurance. But since most people, the question they tend to ask is, you know, there's a certain level of needs for a certain level of products. So the reason I always talk about auto insurance is because that's the most needed one for everybody. The second one is health, I would say. The third one is life insurance. And of course, it just goes slowly down the drain. So the third object I'm going to talk about is life insurance. Why do people buy life insurance? It's because I believe because you care. If you don't care, you would not consider buying life insurance. What is the benefit of having life insurance, okay? The benefit of having life insurance is if you don't care about your husband or your wife, you would not see the value. If you don't care about your family, you won't see the value. But if you do care about someone that you love dearly, you see the benefit of having financial dependency, you could buy life insurance. That could be a way for you to create wealth for your family if you don't have the millions and millions and millions. So let's use that analogy. Let's say you purchase a life insurance policy for $500,000, right? $500,000 worth of life insurance policy. You're paying like $60 or $70 for it. Now, within a matter of 3 years, God called you, you just leave your family $500,000. One thing I tell my clients or people, we both have one thing we may not realize. We come to this earth one day. One day. We come plainly, without anything. We come in, our parents raise us, take care of us, treat us, and we get to where we are now. But one day, the same way that we come, with a blink of an eye, we're just gonna vanish. God will call us, you have to go. And what happened? You won't have time to collect your fortune. You will not have time to buy a plane ticket. You're just gonna go. So with that in mind, if you have a family member, let's say if you're making minimally $20,000 a year. So that's the general rule, right? If you're making $20,000 a year, what you would want is, if you want that $20,000 to come to your family for the next 6 to 10 years, what you could do, you can set it as if the first year you're gone, your family get that 20 the next year, and so forth and so forth. So the rule of thumb is, the way we calculate your income, let's use the minimum, $20,000 you make for the year. You want to protect that income. You say, okay, well, so if it's $20,000, minimum is you could qualify to get a policy for $120,000. So maximum is about, if you want to get 10 times of your income, it's about $200,000. Now the problem is not everybody can afford it. That's the problem, because so much debt, your needs are so high, and the cost of living is too extensive. So some people might not be able to purchase or just the minimum of policy because they're already drowning. So what I say to people is to is to find the type of debt that you can eliminate. So if you pass, you don't leave your family in a burden. So if we're already struggling, let's say you're making 20, wife is making 20, there's 40 coming in, and your 20 is gone, you couldn't even afford to get a couple of $1,000 worth of a life insurance policy. Now, that 20 that you were making is gone, and you have a kid with the wifey. You see what the drama that you put your wife into or your husband into? So literally, financial difficulty just come unexpected. Nobody's expecting anybody to die, but if you can prevent the stressful of financial difficulties, I think it's something you should consider and look into. And for those of you that actually call, and for those of you that one of our agents at Aquin Financial actually sit with and talk about insurance and get your family covered, I applaud you for taking such step, and I congratulate you for wanting to see the value of having your family avoiding such tragedy. And of course, the other question is, some people notice, my goodness, I see the introduction is so much, and of course, and there's a lot of reason why people can get life insurance, right? I had to say you care for your loved ones because you don't want to leave any debts behind. Let's say you have a home that needs to be paid off. Let's say the home is one of the most valuable assets, or one of the most assets to every family. If you want to leave that paid off for your family, cover it with life insurance. If you pass, you know the home is paid off. So at least you know that burden is no longer on your wife or your husband. So that will be taken care of, and he or she can worry about taking care of your kids to school, making sure the rest of the daily tasks, she or he can focus, make sure that your kid or our kid extend to the next level and have a better life. So I encourage each and every one of you guys to look into buying a life insurance policy, to see the values, to see how well can you protect your assets when it comes to a life insurance. See, I talk so much. Now I talk about insurance. Okay, next one, sorry. Education. People buy life insurance for education, especially for the kid. Now, and the other one is a key person for your employee. Now, I'm going to dwell on these 3 key points, but before I do that, I'm going to take a quick break. So when we take that break and we come back and we talk about the next couple of insurance products and how you can remember the one is education. We have education, we have a key person insurance. What is that about? And of course, some people say, "Oh, I have insurance." Where they don't. There's what we call a certificate of insurance. There's what we call a master policy. You want to know what type of policy you have. Oh, I have insurance at my job. So if you have all these things, you don't know. Oh, I have insurance at my bank. So there's a whole lot of insurance type of policy people may not know. Let's take a break. I'll be right back. I talk too much.
Need life insurance? Then contact our professional and friendly team to learn more about our range of custom and tailored services designed to suit your exact needs. Every one of our professionals have acquired years of experience, which ensures you get the very best. Our experienced staff are waiting to hear from you and to answer any specific questions that you may have on how we can meet your needs. Just ask for a consultation and let us prove our commitment to you, as we promise to maintain the highest level of quality and commitment. Your satisfaction is our prime concern. So please don't hesitate to get in contact with us and let us show you all the great options we have.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching again. Today we're talking about the most question that people ask about life insurance. And I can't seem to answer this question enough. And I'm sure there will be multiple more questions to come. This little segment doesn't cover the whole aspects of life insurance, but it gives you a lot of heads up for if you didn't know anything much about life insurance. And again, for those of you who doesn't know anything, who like to know stuff, call me. It's my pleasure to give you all the information that you require about life insurance, because I love doing it. This is what I do. Call at 561-290-4661, 561-290-4661. The number is listed below and here. And also for those of you guys who like what we do, who enjoy watching us, our videos, please like, share, subscribe to our videos so we can give you more of these particular videos about what you want to hear. Okay, so let's move on to what we were talking about. As I was saying earlier, there's certificate of insurance, there's master policy of insurance. What does this mean? What does it mean? And some people say, well, should I buy? I have a 10-year old, I have a 5-year old, I have a 2-year old, I have a 1-year old, I have a 10-month old, I have a 6-month old, I have a 1-month old. Why do I need a life insurance for that particular kid? The benefit of having a life insurance policy for a kid that is young is you can do a lot. It's more of a gift, okay? I say it's a gift. It's not, I think it's, for a parent or a granny, we wouldn't think of our kid passing at an early age because we can't bear of hearing such thing, okay? So to avoid from hearing it, we rather go unprepared. That's what I'm learning from what I'm seeing from these particular people. They want to make sure our kid is financially free, but they would rather give the most hard-earned funds. But the cheapest way to go about it is to buy insurance. Let's say for a kid that is young, a year old, a month old, $50,000 worth of life insurance policy costs probably $3. But for you, it could cost you anywhere from $100 or $70 to $100, depending what age you are. So when you think about it, and of course you can use insurance as a form of investment for your kid. So which could be a universal product, which would be at the end, you would really see the benefit of that product within around 20 years from now. So most people who buy it, that type of policy for the kid, is not something that they would buy for, they don't buy it for a benefit or thinking that the kid would pass. They're thinking it's protecting this particular kid future, you know. When they get to an age, they have that funds, they can take it out, then you go to college and prepare, have a better future, in other words. So that would be for the child. But for those of you, let's say for me and my wife, or let's say we work at ABC company, whatever position we are, the company had an agent that come along, decided, you know what, it's a good thing for my employee or employers to have insurance. They value the product. They see the potential of what it could do to a family in case you were not able to make it. Especially a company that really structure-wise, they have what we call a key person insurance. Key person insurance, if you die, let's say here's the vice president of the company and the other person is the co-owner, whatever the position may be, but they're very valuable. But we buy what we call a key person insurance on that person. If that person passed, for the next 3 to 5 years, that $500,000 or $1 million will be there for the company to manage that person's position, or replace that person, or have someone else, or hire and train someone else for that particular position to get them to the next level. Now, what is a certificate or a master policy? Certificate of insurance is like you work for ABC company, and ABC company will say, well, Mr. Bordeaux, I will give you a policy, a $50,000 worth of life insurance policy. You can pay $5 per your paycheck, and if you pass, the company will pay $50. It's that simple. But what they don't tell you is that if you leave the job, that policy will automatically cancel. That's especially what we call a certificate of insurance. The other part of insurance is if you have a master policy covered, you go out in your own, you get your own policy. That policy, what it does, you have it, you take it, you put it in your safe, or you put it wherever in your drawer, you pass, your family get that, and once they get that policy, what do you think happened? It covers the family for the well-being. It takes them, it designed for whomever is the beneficiary, whoever you want to enjoy that benefit, whatever you want them to, that policy was designed to do, that's what you set it for, and that's what it will do, especially when you have the company or the agent that looks in your behalf, the funds that you had for your kid, that fund that you put aside for your child, that funds that you put in for your house, that fund that you put away for your key person insurance, it will, whatever that you design it for, it's just that security. So I know I talk a lot, and I can keep talking on and on and on, because this is one of the subjects that I'm very deadly passionate about. Because I remember when we started this segment of having to come on and talk about insurance, I told you guys, the reason I got into insurance was because a friend of mine had passed, right? A friend of mine had passed at church, and I didn't know they were collecting funds for him, and they didn't know how to get the funds. So collecting and collecting, at the end, we wind up having to come together to burst the funds for the kid. So I said, is there a better way? And that was at my early age. So gradually, I learned insurance was that vehicle. So now I'm more of a preacher about insurance. I'm an educator. So I want you guys to open your mind. You don't have to buy a policy, but you want to know what it does. You don't have to, but if you do, if you're considering buying it, call me. If you consider buying it, call me. I would love to be your agent. I would love to be the person who can sit and educate you. I would love to be the one that you are drilling to ask all those necessary questions, because that's what I love to do. I love to talk about insurance, okay? So without any further ado, let me see if I don't miss anything. So, was life insurance important? We covered that. How much life insurance should I buy? I think I literally covered that when I was talking about 6 to 10 times the amount of insurance you can buy. So I'm not gonna make the video too long. I appreciate you guys for watching. Please share this video, subscribe to our channel, make this video go to those ears that has not been able to hear it. Guys, I will leave you from this point. I would like to tell you, which is our last word each and every time. Remember, at Aquin Financial Services, we protect your most valuable assets. That's our job. That's what we do. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much. May God bless you all. Thanks again. Bye.